We are going to use your handmade paper plate unit circle to discover our sine and cosine relationships around the unit circle. So we know that the sine of x is the sine of an angle is its y value. I'm going to change that to an angle. And then the cosine of an angle is its x value. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to look at the sine of 60 degrees. Well, since 60 degrees is in the first quadrant, we're going to look at reference angle 60 degrees. What I want you to do is take your unit circle, and I want you to find the triangle that has 60 degrees as its reference angle. I'd like you to align its bottom leg, its short leg, with the x-axis, and if you notice, the y value at 60 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. This is the distance along its vertical leg. So that is the square root of 3 over 2. So the sine of 60 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. Done. Next, we move on to the cosine of 3 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 is over here at 135 degrees. Its reference angle is 45 degrees. So I'm going to go find my triangle that has a reference angle of 45. And if you notice, if I use this as 45, that's not correct. That's putting my hypotenuse along the x-axis, and we don't want to use that. We want to use one of the legs. So if I use my triangle whose leg aligns with the x-axis, if I go ahead and look, the x value of a reference angle of 45 degrees is this distance. Well, it's the square root of 2 over 2. But I'm over here in quadrant 2, which means it's negative square roots of 2 over 2. All x values in the second quadrant are negative. Okay, let's go talk third quadrant, 210 degrees. 210 degrees is right over here. Its reference angle, I know, is 30 degrees. 180 divided by 6 is 30. So I'm going to go over here and find my reference triangle where I can put its leg, not the hypotenuse, but a leg along the x-axis. Notice the point of this triangle lands at 210. Well, what is the y value at 210? Notice that y value, it's upside down, but it's 1/2. It's 1/2. But since I'm down here in quadrant 3, all my y coordinates are negative, so it's negative 1/2. All right, last but not least, we're going to go look at the cosine at 11 pi over 6. Well, 11 pi over 6 is over here. That's 330 degrees. That is telling me my reference angle is 30. The distance between the terminal side and the x-axis is 30 degrees. I am going to go find a triangle whose reference angle is 30 degrees. Well, this guy doesn't work because I can't line the hypotenuse up with my x-axis. I've got to go get my other triangle who has 30 degrees. It's not my green ones, it's this guy over here. And I'm going to align the leg with the x-axis. So notice the point of my triangle is at 11 pi over 6, one of the vertices. My cosine is my x coordinate is the square root of 3 over 2, and all x values in the fourth quadrant are positive. That is how you use your homemade paper plate unit circle to figure out sine and cosine. Thank you for joining.